Now it's Sunday morning. Today they'll have the second round of all the Pampa classes. And of course at the end of the day, have the trophy presentation and award ceremony. And then of course the part of it that we hate, the ride home, back to reality, back to jobs, back to mowing the grass, and back to all the mundane things that probably all of us have to do, all except people that are lucky enough to live in a part of the country where grass doesn't grow or not have any rental property anyway. It looks like it's going to be nice, but they're predicting some showers this afternoon. So far the weather hasn't dampened anybody's spirits at all. And we're hoping this is going to be a real nice end to what has amounted to be a great time with our friends. Some of the people we only get to see once a year. It's just a memorable time, I don't know, and at the ceremony last night, Bob Brookins is, I don't know how, I played it back in my mind last. That was pretty funny with Pete with the acetone. We're going to try to present Pete with a gallon of acetone at the award ceremony and put a little sign on it, lens cleaner. But I don't know, we had a great time. Everybody seemed to pick up some good information from Bob's seminar. And we hope the weather's going to be good so everybody can get in their second round flights today. Good morning, everybody. Oh, look at everybody's over at the pilot meeting.
I've heard that we're going to have weather at noon. So you need to be as efficient as possible to get off and on the circles. I want you guys again to fly safely. The award ceremonies to be the completion of both flights. And I want to thank you guys for your support this year and those who came up to me and said thank you. It is hardly appreciated. And also I appreciate when we've had some discussion about things, you guys have been very polite about it, and I want to thank you for that too.
Yeah, that I would second. This has been just, if you could get this kind of cooperation at every contest, my hobby would be CD and not flying. This has been it's been fun. It really has. It's not that we haven't had bumps in the road to climb over, but it's been just easy as pie to work with you guys, all of you. Thank you.
Any questions from anyone? Have a very safe and fun day. See you at the award ceremony. Thank you.
Hey, do you want the pilots, the judges to fly?
Okay, Wendy's first official Sunday morning. We gave him a launch, so wasn't able to get it take off. Okay, Wendy.
We had to switch because Kent, who was recording, whoops, sorry Jose, we want to get Jose's flight for him, and Kent's up next, so we kind of use his shoulder, use my shoulder, and after that thing of somebody kicking my rudder yesterday, I don't want to leave the plane too unattended for too long. Anyway, conditions are better than yesterday. There'll be nobody complaining about these conditions. This a little breeze, it's cool. For anybody who might not know, Jose Modesto is from the New York City area. He's a basketball coach part-time, has his own business, but he coaches basketball. His both sons are very good at basketball, and we expect, I don't know if both or one, we expect someday to see Modesto on the back of some team's uniform in the NBA. Jose himself, of course, is super bad. Never shoot hoops with Jose. And he's a very aggressive builder. He always builds more than one plane a year. Very intense in his practice. And like many of the people, myself included, has benefited greatly from the help of and inspiration of Big Jim Greenaway, among others. I'd say he was my primary source of inspiration. And I think that would be true of about 7 or 8 other people here, Jim Borelli and Jose Modesto. People that he's helped raise up the ladder of success. Jose is, like myself, a believer in buy every engine. One day he's got a Tiger 60 in a plane, one day an Aero PA, one day a Sato. Always testing motors, testing things. Never takes the easy way of just believing what somebody says. Buy the motor, put it in the plane. You don't like it, put it on a shelf or sell it. But if you like it, hey, you're really lucky. right at that corner is where I got hit with some funny air. And I'm assuming Kent got that because Kent was shooting and launching and we don't know what was going on. But just for my own reference, I did have that bottom of the hourglass that was fudgy. But in lieu of maybe risking the plane and some funky air that was swirling around there, we always want to make sure we go home with the plane here. That's the number one thing. Now, I hope we don't have a battery problem. I see a light coming on because we can't call it an attempt here. Usually you can get one extra flight once the battery comes on. And Kent's the next one up. One of the people we know enjoys looking at his flight on video and critiquing it and having it for as he looks back over his career, like we all do. Possible improvements or things he could have done differently. Well, Kent's a good one. I'm probably not going to get the takeoff and landing, but we'll try to get as much of Kent's flight as we can. We're going to run over. Well, Sleepy's going to run over and get a battery. I see him running right now. Thank you, Jose. Got it. And I do have your flight. Which from this point on, we shouldn't have to do this, but of course we don't want to be where the judges are. They're like 10 feet to my left. And there's still, the conditions right now are, at least when I was flying, and it looked like when Jose was flying, it feels like the wind is blowing dead downwind to the judges. But when you go to do maneuvers there, you can feel the plane respond as if, Kent should be more to my left. But we'll see. This doesn't look too bad. What's happened over the years is Dave Midgley, Kent Tyser, and Jose have all basically come up the ladder very quickly. I should say all of them have had a great rivalry, a great competition over the years. Dave gets to fly last because he's judging. That won't be any advantage today, I don't think. There are days that last flight can be the contest winner, but I think because of the nature of this contest, and that won't be a factor, but obviously we can still find out. That's why it's never too good to get wrapped up in scores. Get wrapped up in the improvement in your skills building and flying, and then you're your own reward. You don't have to depend on somebody else to tell you, give you an attaboy. Nice clean corners. I've flown this plane, by the way, at the team trails when I went last time. I got to fly it several times. Kent's working on several trim adjustments that I thought would help it, but it's a nice cornering plane, and this is the absolute, it's actually a perfect copy of the one that will be kitted very soon by John Brodak. It used to have a big scoop, he's got rid of that, and made it a little cleaner aerodynamically, but the big thing is Kent's skills are getting better at a very predictable rate. And so far, when we were at the Nats, we coached Kent, all of us coach each other, of course. We coached Kent, and he had trouble with the bottom of the hourglass. I mean, I'm talking, I just put in the worst hourglass of the contest here to pull out, but we're looking, the first time Kent actually gets an hourglass bottom that I'm happy with, I'm gonna definitely be yelling and screaming at the end of the flight. That's one of the things you can take. My opinion anyway, for what it's worth, and it's probably not worth too much, you can take joy in your friends' accomplishments as well as your own. When you see your friends getting better and better, you don't have to be jealous, just get better than they are too. And if that doesn't work, get up even earlier, stay up even later. Buy more videos. Anyway. This is a fine flying plane. I don't think anybody at this contest would have trouble picking up this handle and just putting in a pattern. And I don't think it's a trick plane that it's, oh, Kent, that, oh, gosh. I know he's not going to be happy with that. And then any more than if you could have viewed my face on the hourglass pull out in that swirl, I felt it go into swirl mode and I said, let's get out of here. Here we go. This, all right, acceptable. There was a long period of time when Kent was having trouble with that. It looks like he's semi got that one covered. We'll probably take a, if we can, go up to the scale circle for a bit. Once this round of expert, or once they take a judge break or whatever. I like to get, a lot of people want to look at their flight, years later even, and see the progress. Like I have Kent's flight at several different events that I can go back and make a collage tape and say, this is what you look like in '97, this is what you look like in '98. Hey, we have video of Kevin Stewart when he almost couldn't fly the pattern, and he's a national champion now, so kind of neat. I think it's kind of special anyway. He is among about 10 people I consider to be primary students, Kent Kaiser. He's got a carbon fiber tank in his plane, a Super Tiger 60. One of a few people here that have already used carbon fiber tanks and basically are sticking with them. And anytime you can get an ounce and a half off your plane in 10 minutes, there's always a performance gain. Somewhere else, even if you want to have the plane that weight, you can put that ounce into paint, cockpit detail, wheel pants, or you could just fly a lighter plane, which I guess we all want to be lighter. Especially when you put your pants on in the morning. No, don't land upwind. This is what I did. Look, this, I was trying to nurse it in, and that plane with the big high aspect wing just floats. Oh, look at this, perfect. All right, Kent. Hey.
All right.
Need help?
I'm gonna fly now because they're running scale over there.
Okay. Just let me know. Kaiser's got his poops. Kaiser's got to reel his lines in. Got the battery back on Percy's. These batteries are making me crazy. Actually, what happened the other night, I had both batteries plugged in John's shop, and I have 4 altogether. I thought 2 were already charged because the chargers were unplugged, but somebody halfway through a charge unplugged them, and I can't tell which 2 were fully charged right now. 2 of these are going to die halfway through, and 2 are going to be okay, and I just don't want to miss anybody's flight. Percy, for one, is always up at my house, and when he comes over, I just happen to have a copy of his flight sitting there, and we can look at it and have a good time in the shop.
Wendy, do well.
Hey, have a safe trip.
Yeah, I'm coming out to fly with you guys.
All right. You can give me a call.
Okay. And Sleepy's gonna buff your plane out too, Hank. Anytime you want a buff job, just take a trip over to Sleepy's house. We really did have an opportunity to go to South Africa to Percy's club and participate in a stunt clinic. We just couldn't work out the the scheduling for my business and for Karen's job, of course, at the same time. But that was an almost happening thing, and it's one place I'd love to go. Karen, of course, has seen a lot more of the world than I have. She's pretty much been a world traveler. I haven't. I've been kind of a local boy. But I have seen England. I have seen Poland. And it looks like we've now have 2 more friends that both fly control line stunt in India and are starting to buy Windy videos, and for whatever that's worth, that'll probably stunt their growth. But maybe we'll get a chance to someday be world travelers. I'd love to, when I retire, see it all. And every time I go somewhere else in the world, it just lets me see a bigger picture than I see with my own small little life. And that's always the difficult part of my life, is seeing the much bigger picture. Modeling is great. I love to be 25, but boy, I am blessed to have a good family, and I am blessed beyond belief to have as many good friends as I do. Percy Atfield, South Africa, USA. Ken Tyser has got a real nice way of hanging these planes in here. I thought I'd flip up on the video. This is a typical minivan. What is this, a Caravan or a?
Chevy Venture.
Chevy Venture, okay. But basically it would work for any minivan. He's got it
contracted to make about 3.
Okay. Maybe I'll get you to make 4. I think that's great. How much does it cost for the PVC tubing?
That's really is
20 bucks, 30
2 joints
bucks?
a piece. Yeah, I'd say no more than 25.
Okay. That works perfect.
Yeah, and I mean it's. I don't have it. You have to tie them down.
Yeah,
So they'll
yeah.
bounce. But I mean it's.
Well, you put a soft cloth, not a bungee cord or something. Yeah, that's fine.
It's t-shirt ripped up.
Yeah,
Pipe
yeah, nice and
insulation.
soft.
Old t-shirts tore,
Right.
wrapped around.
Yeah, that's what I use, the pipe insulation. It works good.
Yeah, and I mean it's.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, Strager, baby.
That's about 4 years old, and I mean I've had no trouble with it.
Great. George Mitchell. Shooting George Mitchell's flight here.
The wind's shifted that way, and I kept doing them that way. I think that started at 40. Have that little oil.
We're hopefully somewhere in this round, when they take a break, gotta run over to the scale circle, but I'd like to include, obviously, as many contestants as we can. funny wind there. I guess the wind's coming up. It hasn't gotten really rough like yesterday, but it's definitely challenging. George Mitchell.
Okay, we've got Mike Alamo, and I believe he's from around the Cleveland area. Says second official and expert on Sunday here at Brodak's.
Derek, how come you're not flying today? When he registered, I didn't know I was competing today. I brought an airplane when I moved up here. I had not loaded up my motor, big motor. Got up here, got looking at it. It was sitting in my wife's car. No direction. I had to buy a plane just to bring the airplane. You look like that, that'll put you for a minivan. Those are really close to the target.
Can't tell whose model this is. We're in Brodak's workshop, but it's obviously a scale model of a Pitts. Cool. So you can see, the people that have never been to Brodak, the lay of the land here is All of the circles are basically up on top of a hill, and there's a little bit of a gully where you can walk up, and then there's paved circles up here where they fly. Well, I guess they were doing carrier up there, although I missed carrier. And they have some scale models, so Kent and I are going to walk up and try to include everybody in on the video. Got here too late. The scale models are already done, and they're doing advanced. Roy Transom is up in advance, flying up on the donut, affectionately known as the donut. Anyway, one of our plans, of course we didn't make our deadline, we were hoping we could bring the B-25 here and fly up in a circle. There's no chance that we're going to be flying the B-25 on grass, just by the nature of the plane, but we would have liked to, and we have something to look forward to for next year. Because we're going to fly it in the fall when we get Palisade Park back. Try to get it trimmed out so we can, you know, do a stunt pattern with it, and of course taxi it. Either way, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be something to look forward to at Brodak's next year. I think the guys here, they voted to come up here on the donut because it's more level, and the one circle that they were using for advanced was it had an angle to it, and maybe it was making the judging a little difficult. I'm not sure. I think Dave is judging this, isn't he? Yeah. Dave Midgley is one of the judges. I'm sorry we missed the scale, but it really is impossible to be at every circle all the time, sell my wares, shoot my video. Oh, and in between, just fly the plane. And try to make some photo opportunities for people that want to grab the B-25 and squeeze it and put a dent in it and whatever. We've so much enjoyed the people's response to the B-25. It's been really good. And of course, once the actual event is over, they'll have a very nice, and we'll try to record all the winners, all the little special awards that they give out here. It's a very, very special place. Got a nice motor run going here. Listen to that motor brake. That sounds like he's got it set up real nice. Not sure what kind of motor it is. transom. The upper circle will be obviously a grass circle, seated. Can be used as a practice circle.
You're welcome.
Vantage point, you can see they did have a lot of rain, but today is looking like it's going to hang tough. This is where we obviously would love to next year fly to B-25.
Better go first.
For here.
And this one, I don't know.
This is a second flight in advance.
First flight in
But I didn't look at the board.
first flight today.
Oh, okay.
There's only one flight today, I believe.
But they just started flying the stunt because they had the scale circle all morning?
Now they've been alternating.
Or they've been going back and forth?
Yeah, so this is the third or fourth stunt guy here.
Okay. They should judge from up here. Nice motor run, nice brake. I'm not sure because I've never flown up here. I'm not sure if the wind up here is significantly better or worse than the wind down at the bottom. We'll find out from some of the people that have flown up here. Not that the wind is a strong wind, but if it gets swirly, the bottom circles, like any field that's enclosed around trees, can tend to get swirly. Ooh! Ooh, hate to see that. Mitchell. Boy, I wish that was my name. I'm wearing your shirt. Do I get paid for this? Billy Mitchell?
Put it on with an ink pen.
Would you autograph my shirt? Billy Mitchell. Can you imagine if he was the real, if maybe he is, we don't even know it. Looks like, you take a pass, yeah. It's like it'd be a good idea to take a pass. It's a rich run. What do we got, 33 in this class? We're just going to leave them up here and award the trophies later. Let them duke it out. Spillman is on a second official round. We try to get as many of these as we can. We're trying to do one for Gary Lutz that we can use as a coaching. I'm going to kind of do the coaching right on camera, so he won't mind, because that's what he's looking for. So Gary, give us a good one when it comes to your time in the order. What a gorgeous day. This turned out to be, I mean, compared to the days before, And I guess if you got to end a contest on a fabulous day, this is the one people will remember the most, is the last one. Now Phil has just had some, I'm not sure, he's a hockey player, and he had some problem with his knee. He used to wear a knee brace. He's had some surgery, I think, and he said he's feeling real chipper and spry. And by the way, anybody that doesn't know, Phil Spillman has a dedicated video that I'm not sure who sells it, but Phil would know if you call him, where they did the stunt pattern maneuver by maneuver from inside the circle. Kind of a neat video. Would be appropriate for a lot of skill levels of people that are looking to do it, and Big Art participated in that. I'm not sure who is I have a copy, but I'm not sure on who is the person that sells it. Phil would know. And I thought it was a very good video. Very well done. Like a Bobby Hunt video, professionally done with titles and editing and things like that, for the people in the world that kind of like that kind of entertainment, I think it's excellent. Now there was a time when Phil lived down in our neck of the woods. I think everybody in the world at one time lived in our neck of the woods, and then they move out to higher pastures or something. Well, I could make a list of people that lived in our neck of the woods. Lou Walgas, Joe Ortiz, Bill Rich. I mean, this list could go on. Just to name a few that everybody might know. Bob Hunt, Kid Captain Ellie, Phil Spillman. But for me, I kind of like the New York City area. My wife's friends, job, and a lot of her friends and family are right from that area. So my family's from that area. I'm kind of committed to, and I'm kind of the guy that, well, I need to stay where my family is, and never want to be too far from the kids and stuff. That's important to me, and Karen, of course. But if it works for you, hey, we all have different paths to follow. Now it looks to me like this wing has a little, and I always try, and this is not to embarrass anybody, just to offer some information that people watching a video, and now that they're even going to India, I think that's unbelievable. There's going to be Brodak videos in India. Can you imagine that? In New Delhi, we have a customer. That's almost unbelievable to me. I didn't even know they had people that flew in India. But because these videos do travel the world, and I'm sure I'd be willing to bet for every video I made there's 100 bootleg copies somewhere too. Doesn't bother me, so don't get upset if you do that. But we certainly would like to just use the video as a tool, as a way of making the hobby grow, as a way of exchanging information, and in the overview, a way of sharing the lives that we all seem to enjoy with the model planes. I always say it, and I always think about it over and over, like on a long, boring ride on a Pensy Pike. What would life be like without a hobby like? Without the friends you make in modeling, without the skills you learn working with your hands, without the sportsmanship you learn from learning how to be a good loser and hopefully someday learning how to be a good winner. It's just hard to imagine that there's other skills. People our age just seem to gravitate to this. You don't really get hurt when you have an accident, like we've seen several people. You buy some more balsa wood, pick up another Brodak kit, and get back in the parade. And if there's an event that you were trying to win this year and you haven't won it, win it next year. Get committed right now to putting that little extra effort in. If your plane's not as shiny as you like it to be, Just get out that Bob Brookins home phone number and call him every night until it's done. Or my number. Hey. Phil Spillman. I'm not sure if this is good Andy, bad Andy, medium Andy.
Andy Cap.
I'm bad, Andy.
Dandy Andy.
Dandy Andy.
Yeah, that's not a lawnmower, it's a motor. Is that a double star, Kent?
Yeah, double star.
A rear exhaust? Okay. Gotta get the facts straight. Just the facts, ma'am. It's a, I think this is the one he was talking about at the demo that was done with the Tom Dixon method, which obviously looks like a pretty good, looks decent on this plane anyway. He's got the pit crew part of this worked out pretty well. And we'll see by the flight if he's bad Andy, medium Andy, or good Andy. Oh!
Bad Andy.
Bad Andy.
That's $35, y'all.
I'm good, Kent. I'm good. Whoa, look at the wind hitting that plane. Woo! That nasty, Ter? Look, now that's getting nasty. Look at the wing. And on a light plane, this plane's probably pretty light. It's really rocking around. And that wind's getting nasty now. Buffetooly. Buffety, buffety. Oh, it's getting buffy now. We're going for the bumpy ride. Now see, here's the deal. All the guys that had the early draw yesterday when the wind was maybe just a little bit better, that would be fair. Now they get the real nasty stuff. And the guys that had the real nasty stuff yesterday kind of get a little shot at putting in a good flight. So I guess just going backwards is the fairest way of doing it. Even though there's no total guarantee that you don't get hammered twice or 3 times or what. An old Magnum, one of the classic planes, the classic kits, now out of production, and I'm sure there's certain people that would like to have a collector kit, remembering that time in their life when Mike Pratt came out with this kit, and they just really were everywhere. It was a very popular kit. Almost everybody that ever built one did some modifications to make it look like they designed it, similar to the Nobler and maybe even similar to the Cardinal, I don't know. Or the Pattern Master, or whatever. That's the way the event is. Everybody's in the custom car business. not sure how many more they have to go, but there is an astronomically high turnout in this class. This class, I think, was the biggest. We had 27 in expert, which was a good turnout, which included several people that were recognized for their flying skills as being top-level pilots, high-quality builders. Hey. Bob Reese from the Slow Club in Washington, D.C. Advanced level. These are all advanced, right, Phil?
That's correct.
The whole. How many guys you got in your class?
29.
20. You got more than us. We had 27. Wow, that's a good turnout.
It really is. A lot of good flyers here.
Yeah, yeah. Nice competitive event. And it looks like everybody's kind of getting this equal air thing, you know?
He's flying a plane he designed himself.
Okay. What else can you tell us about him? Nice guy, good guy?
Good guy. I go way back to the
Good.
early 60s. When,
Long-time modeler?
Oh, yeah. They used to be a great big club down there. They ran...
They used to have their own contest in Washington at one time. I remember going to Washington with Glenn Metters and Lou Dudka.
At Anacostia Naval Air Station.
Yes, they had a nice meet.
Yeah.
We went down there many times.
It's like everybody else, we're getting older, and
Yeah.
you don't seem to get a lot of new blood into the group. That's the hard part.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think cloning is a good thing. I'm in favor of cloning now. You know, we run over and grab Kevin Stewart's toenail or something.
Yeah.
Make 25 more of them. So, you know, 25 Kevin Stewarts would bolster the event's attendance up. Only if you feed them. I know what feeding a teenage kid is like.
Oh my.
When my son moved out of the house, our food bill went down $300 a month. He used to just eat and eat. Man alive, eat. Well, Kevin's not at, I think it's in the late teenage when they really start eating up the house. How old is he, 17? It's 18, yeah. My son got to be about 21, I think, and then he decided he's going to become a bodybuilder, and you had to eat steak for breakfast. And then you had to have 2 steaks and 12 eggs for breakfast. Yeah, well.
My mother-in-law had any say, and we had about 4 or 5 more.
I remember shopping with Karen, and when he moved out, going to the register, we were out of there in an hour. And we used to each take 2 carts and fill them.
Shopping about every 3 days.
No, we go once a week, but it was a 2-cart thing with him in the house. And it had to all be meat. 3 meals a day, meat. This bodybuilding regimen, ridiculous.
You still doing it?
No. But there was a time when he had put on about 40, 45 pounds of muscle, and he would work. He made his room into a gym. He had all Bowflexes and all those things up there. He'd be watching. We used to get these bodybuilder magazines in the mail. You know, with guys on the cover that looked like Charles Atlas and stuff, and women that looked like Charles Atlas. I wasn't really into it, but I think he was.
You mean the boob-free group?
Ah. All you had to do is unbolt the head and put on my head, and it would have been fine, you know. Wearing thongs around each other. I don't know. I don't think I'll be wearing my thong in a Pampa meeting this year. I know you hockey guys shower together, but I'm not into it, Phil.
It's okay. Hang on to your soap. You see the Red Wings win this week?
I'm not sure. They were leading. Last time I looked, they were leading.
They won the cup this week. 8-9 is the final.
It didn't do much good rooting for the Nets. I don't know what they'll be hiring somebody new there somewhere. Wait till next year, the old Brooklyn Dodger thing. Boy, we used to say that every year. I think it was more fun when they lost. When they finally won, nobody cared. So they're the winners now. Now what do we say? Don't wait till next year?
Well, the average age on the Red Wings team is 32.
Oh, they got any young guys that are worthwhile?
Very few. Oh, but they have a few. But they're such a solid, tight group.
Are they a team because they're good or because somebody paid a lot of money?
Both.
Both?
They have good chemistry.
Yeah. Boy, the Mets proved again that you can spend $22 million and not get anything for your money.
It's a matter of locker room management. They got to have some characters in the locker room. Keep it light.
I think it's neat how she fits in between. Oh, all right, I'm sorry. It's perfect. I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't fit between the wing and the tail of an Avanti.
Wendy, that's why I didn't ask you to pit for me. You feel the love in the air, Wendy?
Yes. When I go to get behind, in between a Noble like this, I got to hold my breath and hope the guy's got full down in the controls. Now, we're trying. This is going to be the Bad Andy's second attempt. Brand new prop. Now I really like when he starts the motor how his friend's hair blows up in the air. That's pretty neat. Okay, last attempt. No, I tell you, of all emotional things you always feel when I see Tom Dixon flying his version of the Avanti, of course a Bob Barron design, or this one, which is a pretty good rendition of it. I just think of Bob, and I think back when we were teenage kids driving cars on the beach in Brooklyn, learning all the basics of how to take a Nobler and make it look like you designed it, and never give old George the credit. Amazing how we had that whole life together. Amazing. Then when Bob moved out California and became the world champion, and FAI champion, whatever he was. He's the FAI champion twice, I think. Got second at the Worlds. Boy, he became a skilled flyer, no doubt about it. And there's probably a lot of people that have some personal bone to pick with Bob, but he was a good one in my book. looks like bad Andy finally became good Andy. All right, Andy. And Gary Lutz coming up next with his stuntress.
Hey Andy, did you have appearance points on that plane?
Yes.
Do you know what they gave you?
You probably got to make a whole new note.
I don't remember right off, Dave.
They didn't add them to your score sheet. I'll put a note on there to add them.
Thank you.
We'll give him a 5, he'll be all right.
Hey, there, I feel the love, but I
All
got
right,
something
buddy.
for you, baby. You're going to be going to the bad part of the...
Usually when I break when I was a kid, I fixed it because you didn't have the money.
Our objective here is we want to give Gary a little bit of coaching if we can. So keep in mind, I've told him that I'll be taping his flight so I could critique it later on. I can critique it, even do a little schematic for him.
Good launch, Tina.
It was the launch that did it. That's right. It was the launch that did it. Because I fit between the wings.
As I have it on video, I don't see it that way at all.
Hey, Wendy.
I have the evidence. I have the DNA evidence here if you want to collect the money for that prop.
That's why it's so tough to keep line tension. You know, you're trying to keep it up here, and it's trying to blow you down, and you're feeding into the control, and the plane's assisting there. They didn't add any. I got John Dunbar with none.
You talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Gary's one of the guys from the Maryland group that I just keep thinking of that thing in '96 when Gary had what was certainly a contender for the concourse. Beautiful plane, and wind was kicking up, and he unfortunately took one flight extra before we went to appearance judging. One of my people I really know loves and enjoys the hobby. Planes are constantly getting better. And he's going to build a Spitfire, he says. He's got a pattern master already done, a real pattern master, Billy Suarez rendition of the pattern master. This is his rendition of the Stuntress, Joe Adamusco's ship. Myself, I always loved the elliptical wings. The product of the drawing board of Joe Adamusco. All these elliptical wing ships. Bucks Deluxe, Stuntress, Spitfire. He's even drawn up a Mark 24 Spitfire with the clipped tips. Love the look of that wing. Okay, obviously a little over control on the pullout. Get back a little so we can see the geometry. You know, that one you flew off camera. So my feeling would be tighten that up just a little bit. Could probably come down a foot in level flight if you wanted to. Let's see, as he intercepts his own shoulders downwind, that would be a good indication of, yep. A little high on that lap. Very high on that lap, but that one didn't count. Okay, let's do geometry. They're getting bigger and bigger, it looks like. Again, the critique would be tighten up if possible. Again, a little high. Come down. Don't make the maneuver any wider. That dive toward the ground is off on an eccentric angle, and the maneuver is a little bit big. Backside of the triangle could have a sharper pull out the last corner. Let's see if we can get this. Bring that down a couple feet would be a big step forward. I'll try to get this camera positioned here. Just hang on. Angles. All of the angles could be adjusted slightly, but not terrible. Plane got hit by the wind there. Let's see if it hits twice. Nope. Second time went right through. You can't tell if these are trim-related things or wind-related things in this field. Well, I got hit with some funny wind yesterday. That was an exciting flight. Plane looks like it's in relatively good trim. Motor run and tank shim look real close. Prop choice looks right for this air. Then the overall impression would be try to get the 45 down a few feet. Some of the angles on the square 8 work on them, but all little things you can, from the video, you'll probably see them quicker than you want to see them. Choice. Whoa, look at this nice landing. Oh my God.
Gorgeous airplane, too.
Gorgeous. Joe Adamusco design.
Yeah, but the finish.
Gary Lutz. I think he got it off the internet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a website on that shirt, and that's
Pipe working out, Dwayne. Yeah, it's working out okay.
yeah.
Dwayne Rothman has a kind of a unique. And when are you up, Dwayne? At the end?
Yeah, I'm about 12:30.
Unfortunately, not using a carbon fiber gear, paying the weight penalty, and being uncompetitive.
It's your gear.
Unfortunately, not my carbon gear. It's painted black, so it's a good advertisement anyway.
That's your gear.
You painted silver?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm giving you a hard time. Take a bath already. Gee-ya.
I wanted you to know.
Gee-ya. Yeah, a little accident he had with that. Not bad, doesn't look too bad.
Call in.
How much you just wind up weighing when you were done?
I don't know when it's
The fly's good though.
It's very
Fly's
light.
good, yeah. I bet Andy Lee likes it.
Andy hasn't seen it fly. He hasn't been out to the.
Oh, I bet he'll like it. I bet he'll love it.
But I don't think.
What kind of little motors are they? I picked it up already. 2 little FPs?
Oh, they're sweet motors.
Yeah, they run well.
I made that on my computer. Ringmaster.
You computer genius, you.
No, Bob Lampione showed me how to do it with his
Okay.
M&M's. Next one's going to be better.
Cool. Here. How's the boy doing? Behaving?
Supposed to come down, but
Hey, he's a normal kid. The call of the wild. You know when you hear the wolves howling at night, that's the call of the wild.
should have been over by now, no?
Oh! How old is he? He can't be 20. You got to be kidding me. That must mean I'm 70 or something.
His size, so
Yeah, when my son was into bodybuilding, oh, I was afraid to holler at him.
yeah. Well, if
But-
bodybuilding, he could humongous.
Yeah.
Now
But
you-
my son, I told him one time, I said, you know, no matter what, you got to sleep sometime. I'll come up there with a frying pan and flatten your head. And it worked. It worked.
How old is he?
30.
Oh, is he 30?
Yeah.
Married?
Not yet, but he's living with his girlfriend and having a good... I think this is the girl for him. She's a sweetheart.
Aaron's not married yet either, but going with one for 4 years.
Yeah, he's been going with her, I think, since, I don't know, a couple of years anyway, college.
He started out Friday morning, but he said in the middle of the state it got so rain.
Well, tell him Wendy was asking for him.
Oh, I will.
What I like is this decal. I don't know, there's a decal this guy has. I don't even know whose car this is. That's really neat. Yeah, it's kind of a press-on. Would love to have a B25 guy like that. Anybody knows where to get him, just buy it for me. It's somebody from Virginia. Flies great. You got it working real nice. Well, I bet Joe's proud of you, huh?
Yeah, Joe loved it. Yeah. Joe and I had a little weekend get together at my house.
Yeah, it flew well.
Oh, yeah.
I put the critique on the video.
Oh, did you?
Get the 45 down, get some of the angles on a square 8.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to work with here. You know, you guys.
You got me again, yes.
You didn't catch me. You had the last flight too.
3 points. Yeah.
Ah, Van Jock's been had twice. Appearance points. It's that Brodak clear.
Wendy, this is Dennis. Dennis is Wendy.
Hi, great.
Hey, how you doing?
Gary,
I
this is
said
one of our new flyers.
I thought sure you'd catch me. Was having the last flight in his good air.
Oh, yeah.
Good air. It's changing 90 degrees.
I hate running through my own turbulence.
Oh yeah.
That's disastrous, that. Especially on a triangular loop.
Who got third?
Right, John?
I think, yeah, Dixon.
Tom Dixon. He had a nice flight yesterday. I didn't see his flight today.
536 held him. He had 533 today.
Oh, okay. No, he put in a good one. I have it on tape.
He put a decent one in today, too.
Yeah, yeah.
I always love that.
Yeah,
thanks for hanging around.
I got it all on tape, and I got the critique, and I'm over here giving him a butt whipping.
I can see her from here.
More than that, I can't do.
It's a little cold out, it looks like. It is.
Yeah.
It's all that hair blowing across.
Gary's into this perversion. Gary, I got to be honest with you.
The woman likes you.
I never confuse my sex life with modeling.
Like your money? Up her tail.
I keep it totally separate. So Joe is happy with the way this flew?
Yes.
Everything he designs works well.
Yeah.
He's a master.
So, I got a Spitfire on the drawing board.
Oh man, I gotta send you some of that documentation I
Send me
have.
some of that. You need to send me
that
a
was
canopy.
Joe Adamusco.
I got canopies.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania, doesn't it?
You do the quality on a Spitfire you did on this, you'll be so happy, man.
And
Oh.
I got this.
I
got this.
Which one you gonna do? The one with the bubble or the one with the
Malcolm Hood.
the Malcolm Hood? Okay, I got Malcolm Hood ones still.
Okay.
You need a cowling too, or you got one?
Well, I haven't even started on it. No,
When you do, let me know. I still got the molds for all that. I got all the molds for the shells. You can borrow them.
yeah.
Oh, so he wants to be by himself.
I'll send you the molds for the shells, and or you can send me your wood. You take your pick.
Now, here's a question quick. You enjoy and some of those
You can
little
practice a lot with
booklets
these.
that
You don't have
document
guys
all
that
that?
tell you.
Yeah.
That's like
There's
at our
air
field
scoops
sometimes,
underneath the
nobody's-
wing. You and Joe didn't put them on.
I got them. I'll give them to you.
If
you're-
if Wendy sees you, you're on his
Joe
tape,
doesn't have
man.
them on his.
I have them, but I don't fly them with mine.
Oh, good.
Hold on to your plane.
Hey,
Since,
Zambelli's going up.
oh,
Bob.
oh,
Yeah.
poor Bob.
So anyway, if you put them scoops on
We
the
gotta
bottom,
go
that
up.
goes,
That's a
causes a
beautiful
lot of air
plane. I like
drag. And
that.
Yeah, it messed up the air going to the flaps. You might, for show, you could put them on like at a plane show or something, but I wouldn't even bother building them.
all right.
And do a little canopy detailing deal on it.
Well, who made your pilots? For them?
Georgino, and he'll gladly make you one.
Okay.
You know George from Pennsylvania. He'll make one.
He lives in Sharon, Pennsylvania.
Phil Spillman has his address.
Okay.
Phil has his address. You can get. I'm sure he's in business to make modeling parts. So
Well, I'll
give him a holler or get his mold or whatever.